guys, welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. Apologies about the dull sort of background. I was going to record it upstairs just using the PC, but you know what, I really hate that the webcam that I've got built into well, it's not a built-in monitor, it's not a built-in webcam, it's one I bought. It's meant to be 1080p, but the quality is absolutely crap. So I just thought I'll come down here, sit and chill out, relax in the settee and just talk nonsense. So how are you? I hope you're all staying safe. I'm glad to hear that things might eventually start getting relaxed, you know, in the sort of the COVID thing. I think people are really starting to, I wouldn't say get fed up of it. I mean, well, maybe that is the right phrase to use. Obviously, we all understand why we're doing it, but I think what makes it harder as well is the fact that the weather outside is just beautiful and you've effectively got to stay inside. Though, I mean, I do go out, excuse me, I work from home, so I never really leave the house. I've had to go to site a couple of times. I take the dogs out for a walk, I go out for a run, but apart from that, I'm pretty much in the house all the time. And it's, you know, I've got to say, having YouTube has been an absolute saviour because it's been my way of effectively keeping in touch and keeping friendships going. I mean, I did a collab video with Panther UK and Lacosa again last night. So, you know, having that and even doing things like this, not so much this because I'm obviously recording it, but doing the live streams is good fun because it's my outlet to be able to talk to people, you know, which is really, really good. I have noticed when I've been out that I think people are now starting to sort of flout it a wee bit. You know, I've seen big groups of people. I mean, I've got to even see my next door neighbours. Was it Tuesday? I think it was. They must have had about maybe half a dozen people in their garden. You know, and quite clearly not from the same family. So it's one of these things. It's difficult, but you know, hopefully we're heading the right way, and we're eventually going to start seeing, you know, some relaxation. Though I think the way they're talking that pubs, clubs, restaurants are going to remain closed till Christmas, and you've just got to wonder what damage that is going to do to the economy. You know, I really feel sorry for any person that's got their own business and, you know, have effectively they're potentially going to lose their livelihood by what's happened. But you know, it's one of these things, and I suppose, you know, we've had to do what we've done, you know, to try and stop this pandemic taking greater hold. But anyway, enough about COVID-19. I think if you're anything like me, you know, I mean, I'm not even really paying too much attention to the news because it's the same over and over and over again. We all know what we need to do. So yeah, but anyway, getting back to games, what have you been up to? What have I been doing? I bought myself a Raspberry Pi 4. Well, in fact, I bought it when it first came out, which would probably be about maybe 6 months ago, maybe more than that. And I bought it for the simple reason so I could play games on it. And I was a bit disappointed to discover that RetroPie, I mean, it's taken about 6 months for somebody to actually convert RetroPie to run in the Pi 4. So it's largely sat in a box in a cupboard, completely unused, and I was beginning to regret buying it. I thought, well, is it ever going to get used? But I saw a video on YouTube about a month ago. Somebody had put out this supposedly fantastic image for the Raspberry Pi 4. So I downloaded it, and I think it was 120 gig. And when I put it into the Pi 4, nothing, no picture, nothing at all. So then I downloaded just the basic Raspberry Pi, whatever it's called, the sort of software that you know it comes with. And again, it just wouldn't boot up. There was no picture on the screen at all, and I googled it and I simply couldn't find anything. And I just got to that point, you know, stuff it, just forget about it. But then I noticed there are now images out for the Raspberry Pi 4, so I downloaded another 128 gig one, put it on, and yeah, it's really nice. Though oddly, and this is very, very, very strange, I've only played a couple of games on it, and they don't seem to run that smooth. I mean, one of them that I tried was 1942, and it just felt a bit, jittery, or it was kind of jumping a wee bit, which you don't expect because I mean the emulators on the Raspberry Pi 3 are virtually I can't even say it properly, flawless. So I don't know why the one in the Pi 4's not perfect. So I don't know. I'll need to look into it. Maybe there might be another image that I can grab for it. But yeah, I've been fanning about with that for a wee bit. I've been keeping myself busy with videos. Like I said, I did another collab with my two mates, Mr. Lacosa, or Lazoka as he likes to call himself, and Panther UK. Now, as you probably know, Panther UK is or was one of my early viewers of the channel, and he's kind of got involved. And I don't mind saying, guys, if anybody that watches this video that's been watching my channel for a bit wants to get involved making a video with me, whether it's taking part in a Friday Waffle, I'm absolutely delighted to have people on. All you need is a phone, a smartphone or a tablet with a camera. I always like to kind of have you on the screen rather than just a sort of sound video. But really, if anybody would be interested in taking part in a Friday Waffle and just joining me, going through questions and that, then give me a shout. You know what I mean? It's all good as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, Panther UK, Chris, he's really enjoying taking part. And I've got to say, it's absolutely brilliant to have him on board. It just gives the videos that I do with the codes are a sort of a third dimension, shall we say. So that's all good. And yeah, the big video that I did on Tuesday was I had a chat with Dave Perry, the games animal from Games Master, and if I'm being honest, watching Dave back in the day, he did come across as quite bolshy, quite confident, but arrogant possibly about his game playing. And I think, and Dave was the first to sort of agree that did not endear him to everybody, and I was possibly one of these people as well that thought, what's this guy all about? But I've got to say, and obviously I've had an interview with Dominic Diamond as well. I've got to say that that Dave Perry is. Yeah, so one of the videos that I recorded on Tuesday, which I was really looking forward to doing, was an interview with Dave Perry, Games Animal, ex Games World, Games Master person. Now, like most people, I had my thoughts about Dave back in the day. Dave was a self-proclaimed best player, video games player in the UK, and in the interview, he agreed that there was always going to be people that had a lot of negative things to say about him. He didn't endear himself to everybody, and I think that's to be expected when you're in the public sort of arena. And so, like I said, yeah, I mean, he came across as quite arrogant. He was very, very confident, and it's a funny thing, but the public do not like people who are like that. We do actually. Dave and I actually talk about it in an interview. When you become sort of successful, it's amazing how quick people turn on you. But I've got to say, I have absolutely changed my mind 1000%. Dave could not have been any more than such a nice guy. Really, really genuine guy. He's got some great tales to tell. I mean, it went on and on and on and on. Dave said he had an hour, and eventually it ran to just over 2 hours of kind of edited bits. Now, one little thing that I've got to say is, obviously, we couldn't have not mentioned the Mario 64 episode. So I asked Dave about it, and he gave me his feelings about it. And what was apparent was, he was the edited highlights that we saw in Games Master was, he was set up, and most people thought, he's just throwing his toys at the pram. But when Dave actually explained all the background that led up to the programme being recorded, it does come across that it was virtually tantamount to bullying. They kind of set it up to make him look stupid, and I don't think that's a nice thing to do. I really don't. I know Dominic Diamond himself has basically said that he realises what happened on that episode wasn't nice, and I think he regrets a lot of the things that were said. But Dave, he did contact me shortly after and say, look, would I mind taking the Mario 64 bit out of the video, because he just feels that it was 25 years ago, we should have all moved on, and he says that people are going to be bored hearing about it. So I've absolutely respected Dave's wishes. I've taken that little section out. It's a shame because it was interesting, and I personally feel that it shows the other side to that thing, because we've all heard Dominic talking about it. We've all seen what we saw in Games Master, and I personally think that the way Dave explained it, it would make people realise, well, you know what, it wasn't nice what happened to him. But Dave prefers for that part to be left out, so I've completely respected his wishes. But I've got to say, there's still about an hour and 45 minutes of some cracking talk. So I'm actually in the process of editing the video at the moment, and I will be putting it out, I don't know, maybe Wednesday, maybe Monday, I don't know, it'll probably go out next week anyway, so I'm looking forward to putting that out there and seeing what you guys think. But honestly, Dave, he was an absolute pleasure to have. He's a complete nice guy, and he's got some cracking tales to tell. So that's been that really. I've not been, other than fanning about with the Pi 4, I've not really been playing many games. I've not even had a shot off the main Meister high score kerfuffle. Like I says, one of my mates contacted me and asked me if I would set it up because he wanted to take part in it, and he's not taken part in the last three, so I'm a wee bit disappointed that he's not done that. So I don't know, what do you guys, I know there's only a tiny handful of people that are taking part in it. I've got Robert Morrison, I've got Stephen Thornbar, I've got Colin Jones, I've got Lewis Vidler, I think's taken part. I think Paul Emoza, Paul's only had posted a couple of scores, and there's a few others, but I'm a wee bit disappointed that the lack of participants. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to continue doing it. I mean, I've got little time as it is to make videos without kind of making these, so if it's something that people don't really want to see, I mean, by all means, if anybody watching this video takes part in it and you still want it to continue, I know Down the Rabbit Hole, Kevin, he's been taking part in it as well. If people are enjoying it, I should say, let me know, and I will continue to do it. But like I said, if people are quite happy for it just to kind of die a natural death, then I'm quite happy with that as well. What's anything else been happening? No, job wise, I've been daft busy, but honestly, I can't emphasise what a difference it's made to me as an individual, getting away from that real shitty job. I can look back now and think, my goodness, how did I manage to put myself through that? But the positives that have come out for me is, it has made me realise, and I did realise that before, that when you're going through a shit time, not everything, obviously, you could have an illness, whatever, so I'm not trying to sort of, not say that, but a lot of things where you're maybe going through a bad time at work, or you're going through a shit time in a relationship, or whatever it might be, if you've got the ability to change it, then go and change it, because the bad times are only temporary, and that was what kind of kept me going these last sort of 4 months, when I was struggling to get out of my bed in the morning. I was really struggling to go to work. I could have quite easily just not gone in, and probably lost my house, etc. in the process. So, you know, I'm a stronger person for it. You know, that's what they always say when you're going through a shit time, and it's how you respond to it is what makes you the person you are. So it's great being back in a job that I know how to do it, and even just having people, professional people around you treating you with respect, and that, you know, that can't be understated. So that was that. I was hoping to get together with Lone Boys Post and do this waffle. We were going to record it tonight, Friday night, but unfortunately I can't make it anymore. So I've had to cancel, hence the reason I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. But I will be, it's been way overdue, me and Dave getting together for another video, because I really do enjoy the collaboration side of things. I just think having somebody on camera to talk to and, you know, have a laugh with is fantastic. And, you know, I'm still going to continue doing the normal run of the mill Main Meister videos, but I do enjoy the collaborations, and I do enjoy the live streams. I am conscious that I maybe do too many live streams. What do you think? What do you think? At the end of the day, I enjoy doing them, but I don't want people to get bored. So what do you think? Do you enjoy my live streams? Should I continue doing them as often? I'm always going to do them because it's just a nice opportunity for me to just play some random games and have a chat with everybody. So you let me know if you want to see me continue doing just as many live streams. Please let me know, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, listen, I've not got a huge amount to talk about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt. I'll tell you one thing. See, as I'm getting older, my eyesight trying to read things is absolutely shit. So let me just find my whatever it is. Find my last Friday Waffle. Now I started watching something 2 days ago, which I didn't swear I wouldn't watch, but I previously had absolutely no interest in watching it for no reason other than everybody was going on about how good it was, and bizarrely that made me not want to watch it, which is just ridiculous. And it's Game of Thrones. I've started watching Game of Thrones. I've watched 3 episodes, and I've got to say I'm absolutely enjoying it. It's fantastic, really enjoying it. And you know, talking to a couple of mates, one of them said to me, "I'm so envious that you've never seen it." You know, he said, "I would love to have never seen it and had the chance to watch it again." So yeah, like I says, I don't know why people were going on and on and on and on about Game of Thrones. Oh, have you seen the last episode of Game of Thrones? And I'm like, I don't watch it. I've never watched it. But now that all the hysteria has died down, I thought, let's just see if it's any good. And yeah, the production values are very high. A lot of nudity as well, which is quite surprising. I mean, I'm not, bring it on. Sometimes the only thing that I don't like about programmes, if a TV programme has like violence towards either kids or women, even though I know it's a TV programme, I can't watch it. I just feel really uneasy. I started watching, was it the Vikings, I think it was. I watched one episode of that, and there was some sort of violence towards women. I just thought, nah, that's not for me, So if Game of Thrones has that, I'll probably stop watching it. But I've got to say, I am enjoying whoops a daisy. Yeah. So anyway, let me try and I'll stop talking for a second, because I don't actually have the ability to talk and look at the same time. Come on, why is my Wi-Fi playing up? Right, okay. Here we go. 10-minute mash-up first of May, that would be the one there. So I've got absolutely no idea if I've got any questions. We'll just have a look. If we don't have any questions, then it's going to be a short video. Yeah, right, okay. Now, last week I was talking about that I wouldn't say embarrassed, about being a video gamer, but I think I understand that lots and lots and lots and lots of people, probably the majority of people, have got no interest in video games. So I would rather not talk about it, because I know what people are like, and I can't be asked for people telling me, oh, it's a kid's hobby, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of where I am. And Ox, he's saying, I've never had a problem being known as a gamer personally, but if my peers ever had the nerve to tell me to grow up and stop playing games, they'd always get shot thrift at the end of the day. It's your life, and if anyone has a problem with something that you're doing, then it's their problem, not yours. Besides that, everyone is a gamer today. Everyone has at least a smartphone to game on. P.S. Does that mean you've bottled it My Little Pony cosplay at the next retro event? Yeah, very good, Neil. Right, next is Down the Rabbit Hole. My good mate Kev. By the way, I've mentioned Kevin's videos a few times, but if you've never watched Kevin's videos, go and check him out. If I can remember, I'll put his comment down below, but just go into YouTube, type Down the Rabbit Hole. Kevin does some of these wonderful videos. He's an actor as well. I mean, he's not a full-time actor, but he's actually very good, and he goes to so much bother and research to make some videos, and he's actually pretty good. He's done a kind of series of Star Wars videos, so go and check him out. Anyway, hi Alan. Your choice of Tiger Heli for the high score kerfuffle was an interesting one. Is that your favourite helicopter game, or can you think of more? Can I think of any more? I mean, what was the game? Silkworm, which I wasn't a big fan of. Any other helicopter games? There was one that was on the Amiga just before I got rid of it. I can't remember what it was. What's the other one? There's one that's a kind of cutesy game. Mr. Heli? Is it Mr. Heli? Is that a game? It's like you play any cartoon helicopter, but again, it's not a game that I really play. Yeah, I remember playing Tiger Heli. It was in the arcade in Lothian Road in Edinburgh, and what was it called? Ellie, I think it was called. Ellie something or another. And yeah, I saw it in there, and I started playing it, and it really appealed to me. I like shoot 'em ups where you've got different backgrounds, and it kind of keeps you interested. And I remember at the time I could get quite far in it, and I almost felt it was quite easy. And I've played it since, and it is I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's so much more difficult than I remember it to be. I can't think of any other games that have got helicopters on them. There probably are some, Kev, but yeah, Tiger Heli is one of my games that I do play a lot. Secondly, I hear there was a big hack of Nintendo where the source code for things like the Wii were nabbed. I wonder if this means some pirate somewhere will finally release a Factor 5 Wii Star Wars game that was never published. Has there ever been any hacks of any games released online that you have been happy about? I can't think. I'm not really into hacks of games as such. I did play a hack of a game on that thing down there, my Raspberry Pi Ultimate Arcade Stick thing, and it was a port of, it was Streets of Rage 2, and somebody has put the sprites of Street Fighter in, so you can play as Ken, you can play as Dalzim, you can play as all the other ones, and yeah, really clever. I'm not a massive fan of what do you call it? I'm not a massive fan of Streets of Rage. I'm not a massive fan of side-scrolling beat-em-ups. I just find them very, very limited. Again, it's maybe just me, because I know Streets of Rage has got a huge, absolutely massive following, and I know that Streets of Rage 4 was released, was it last week I think it was, and people were going daft for it. Yeah, it's just not, I don't know what it is, just side-scrolling games. I think the only one that I really enjoyed back in the day was Double Dragon. I did like that in the arcade, but I've never really played them since. I quite liked Final Fight, but I think I'm more about Twitch gaming, and I just think that these games is quite repetitive. There's not a lot of skill involved. Maybe I'm talking absolute nonsense, but yeah, go and check it out. I'm sure you can download them. It's Streets of Rage, and I think there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles, whatever they're called. There's one where you can play as the Turtles, but this one was Street Fighter, and it was very, very, very clever. And finally, the Neo Geo just celebrated its 30th anniversary, and although I saw one or two here in Canada, it was never really that popular. How about in the UK? Again, Kevin, I mean, the Neo Geo, as anybody, chances are if you're watching this video, you're going to know what the Neo Geo was or is. The Neo Geo was SNK's home console. Now, this came out, I think, before the Mega Drive, or maybe it came out at the same time. But what set this apart from the Mega Drive was you were basically getting the arcade hardware at home, which was great. But the downside to it was the unit itself was just unfeasibly expensive. I mean, I don't know what a Neo Geo system cost back in the day. I don't know. Maybe £6, £7, £8, maybe £1,000. I don't know. I'm not going to say it was ridiculously expensive, but it was really, really expensive because you were effectively getting the arcade hardware, so it was going to be expensive, and the games themselves were something like £300-400. Again, you were paying for the arcade machine. So other than extremely rich people, nobody could afford it. And I certainly didn't know anybody that could afford one. It wasn't something I ever saw. The only experience I had in Neo Geo was seeing pictures in magazines, reading about it. I never ever got to see one. I mean, I now own one. I own an MVS system, which is basically the board, and somebody has very cleverly made it into a kind of console. Don't play it all that often. I'll need to dig it out. The only thing about the Neo Geo, I mean, it was a great system, but if you didn't like beat 'em ups, then you weren't going to like probably 75% of the games. It's largely beat 'em ups, King of Fighters, Samurai, my Roger Moore, my Sean Connery impersonation, Samurai Showdown. Your Last Blade, I said that, King of Fighters. There was all manner of fighters, and I just didn't really like them. But games like Metal Slug and oh man, there's some cracking games. There's some amazing Neo Geo games. So I love my NVS system. I never ever saw it back in the day, Kev, because I mean it was so ludicrously expensive that I didn't know anyone that could afford it. You'd have to have been extremely well off to have done so. Anyway, thanks Kev, appreciate your questions, buddy, as always. And next up we've got Millface Swinbuckle. Hello again, Mainmeister. Question for the next waffle. With computer hardware advancing so fast and games getting more complex, do you think that the humble controller will soon be replaced with something new? And if so, how do you see it improving on the current control systems? For example, with speech recognition and motion capture becoming so good, could it be that future gamers might just have to move their heads to steer the spaceship while making a loud kapow-like noise to fire lasers? Could such a system possibly beat pressing a button and waggling a joystick? Personally, no. I mean, there's been all manner of controls over the years. I think there's been voice activated controllers. There's been controllers. We can't forget the Power Glove, and you basically just sort of went like that. You tilted your hand to control it. I'm sure there's been controllers that you can just use your head to turn left or right or whatever. And the reason I've never taken off is because they've been pretty shit. I think that's basically the bottom line. And not to say that in 1,000 years' time things will be way different, I'm quite sure. But even things like the motion controller, the Wii motion controller and all that kind of stuff, we've still come back to the traditional, where is it? Let's see if I've got there we go, there's my Xbox 360 controller. I don't think anything is going to beat this controller. I don't mean this particular controller, I mean, my PS4 controller. All controllers are virtually the same nowadays. You've got the gamepad, you've got the shoulder buttons, you've got the buttons at the top there. It just sits so well in your hands. And I don't think these are ever going to disappear. I mean, theoretically, touch controllers on an iPhone or a tablet should work because you've just got your finger on it, but they don't, and that's why I would never play MAME or any emulator on one of them on a smartphone. The controls are shit. You really need the sort of the feedback of a physical button to press or a physical joystick to move. You need that feedback to really know how you're moving. And so unless technology was to improve massively, I don't think we're ever going to see anything that's going to replace a gamepad or joystick, because they've refined it so well over the last 30 years. I mean, I think Nintendo kicked it off with the NES controller, then we got the SNES controller, and then the SNES controller pretty much is the template for all future controllers. Yeah, they've maybe become a bit heavier, they've got more buttons, but the gamepad, the layout of the buttons, that's never changed. That's never ever changed, and it's not changed for a reason, and that's because it's so good now. And I think any controller or any manufacturer that brought out a new machine and they dared to mess with the controller, I think they've made a big mistake. But it's not to say that when the technology maybe eventually catches up and and it can be done better, then we may well see a change to the controller. But I think, personally, I prefer using proper controllers. So anyway, Milfy, thanks very much for that, buddy. Let's have a look. Stephen Thornbar, how you doing, Stephen? It never bothered me being a gamer. I would even walk into a game store and buy a kid's game like Animal Crossing and happily say it was for me. I see it this way. If they have a problem with me being a gamer, then it's their fault, and I don't really give a damn about other people's opinions. You know what, Stephen? You're absolutely right, mate. That I do it just because I don't know. I just don't want to get any arguments about it, whatever. But I totally agree, 100%. If people have got a problem, it's their problem. Now, a question for you. My perfect 8-bit computer would have the keyboard of the BBC, graphics of the Atari 800, the sound of the C64, and the games library of the Spectrum. What would be your perfect 8-bit computer? You know what, Stephen? I've had that question before, and it's a great question, and I think you have pretty much summed up my perfect controller. I mean, the BBC keyboard is really nice. It really, really is. So it would definitely be the BBC keyboard. The graphics on the Atari 800, when done properly, were an absolute thingy beauty. It had a good processor. Well, was it the same as the C64? But I think it ran quicker. It could certainly do. What have I done there? I've just come out. It could certainly do games. I think it might have had a quicker chip. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it had a better colour palette, and some of the best games in Atari are just amazing. Even stuff like all the LucasArts stuff, like the Eidolon, Cronus Rift. There's another one I can't remember. His names escapes me. There's Behind Jagged Lines or Rescuing Fractalis. They're all wonderful. So yeah, I would be the same as you. I would go for the graphic ability of the Atari 800, obviously the sound of the Commodore 64, and the games library of the Spectrum. You know what? I cannot disagree with that. I think that would be my best. That would be my perfect 8-bit computer. Definitely. Great question. Panther UK is a guilty party in the Pac-Man t-shirt scandal. You already, if you don't know what Panther's talking about, when I was gibbering about being embarrassed about being a gamer, Panther had a Pac-Man t-shirt on in the last... it's a video that you've not seen yet. No, I tell a lie. It was the Sid Show number 3, which I put out yesterday or Wednesday, I think it was. I still dress pretty much like I did when I was 16. My go-to beanie hat is a Commodore 64 one, cracking waffle, and I agree with Mark LBP, which is why I enjoy making vids with you and Lacosa, as I've not really got anyone close that gets it. Commodore 64 is a true path, my son. Also, you have a VIC-20 built into the 64. Yep, it's sitting down there. I mean, I do have a VIC-20, but it doesn't work particularly well. For next time, why do you think we always... Sorry, I'll start that again. Why do you think we always used to get so excited about speech in games? I think, you know what, I think it's just because, you know, it was of a time when we had just about got over the thrill of being able to interact with a TV. You know, instead of before computers came out or video games came out, a TV was passive. You just looked at it and you just watched what was on it. And then along came Space Invaders and changed all that. You could suddenly interact with the TV. And, you know, the early games, you know, a lot of the early games, let's be honest, were pretty shit. You know, terrible graphics, terrible sound. And so when, you know, speech started appearing in games, it's just like, wow, it was so incredible. You know, nowadays we just completely take for granted speech in games. I mean, Wreck-It Ralph or whatever it's called, Fix-It Felix 2 has got some great speech, and we take it for granted. But, you know, you need to understand. You need to understand if you're 30 years old or younger, you'll not understand it at all. But back in the early days, going from nothing to Space Invaders to games that had shit graphics, you know, and then you eventually got to a point where you had nice graphics, amazing sound, and speech. It's one of my most used phrases when I'm making videos, but it blew my mind. It just absolutely blew my mind. You know, listen to the speech in Impossible Mission. It wasn't just speech, it actually had an accent. Another visitor, stay a while, stay forever. And it was just amazing. It was coming out of this humble little Commodore 64. Then you had, you know, the beachhead, follow me man, medic. And then obviously Gauntlet in the arcades. Elf is short of food. Green elf is about to die. It was fantastic. But you don't get, well, I was going to say you don't get so much speech now. We just take it for granted, the same as we take in music and that. But anyway, Chris, thank you very much for your Spectrum. Spectrum? Where did that come from? I'm looking at the next comment. Thank you very much for your comment, Spectrum. That was a bolt out the blue. Tony Walker, I wear retro gaming t-shirts all the time, mate. You know, absolutely fair play to you, Tony. Like I said, it's just me. I'm just a bit of a dick. Stackbats, totally get what you say about feeling a stigma about being a gaming retro gamer. Nice video, my first listen, and welcome Squire. Thanks very much for your comment. Yeah, like I says, it's just me. You know, not everybody's comfortable with it. Maybe I'm just being a bit daft, but then here's this. I'm the guy that's bloody making videos about computer games and putting it out on the World Wide Web. So go figure. But yeah, thanks for tuning in the channel, buddy. I hope you enjoy it. Colin Jones, never hidden my like of computers or games and never had any nasty comments, thankfully. And you know my liking for wacky and geeky t-shirts. Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. Waffle question, for you most used original systems, are you using original PSUs or modern replacements? I ask because my Amiga one failed and I've ordered a replacement. I use the original PSUs because that's all I've got, and I'm fully aware that they're not going to work forever. And the only one, I did buy a modern one, and it was from a Commodore 64. I took my C64 along to the club, and it was the original little brown power pack, and one of the guys went along, or that was there, and he went, why are you still using that? He says, do you not realise that you're running a really high risk? He says, the fuses in this, they can blow at any time. If they blow, the damage is just going to go straight to the C64 and basically it'll fry all the chips. So I bought a new one off eBay. I think it came from Poland. I think it was 35 quid. It was quite a bit of money, but it's brand new, it's modern, and it's also going to safeguard it. So I think if I had the opportunity to buy a new power PSU for my hardware, I probably would do it. It's probably something that you should do, because I do know that these PSUs were never designed to last 30-40 years. So if you want to safeguard your hardware, it's probably worthwhile. And last question, I don't know if it's a question as such. No, it's one of my mates, Charlie Farr. I've little time for small-minded people who belittle and make fun of people's hobbies. It doesn't matter often at all. It doesn't happen often at all, as I think gaming has come of age to some extent. But I do have a favourite response for being a gamer. I just reply, what age should I have stopped playing them then? Should I also grow out of watching movies, reading books, listening to music? The mass appeal of football genuinely confuses me, but I would never mock anyone who is a fan. If somebody can't accept what you're passionate about, they're probably not worth knowing. I couldn't say it any better myself, Charlie. So anyway, listen guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you all have a really, really nice weekend. I might say, you know what, I probably will be back on Friday night for a live stream, because I quite enjoy that. I always enjoy it to kind of wrap up the weekend. So anyway, have an absolutely fantastic weekend guys, and as always, thank you very, very much for watching.